So welcome back. Every once in a while someone decides to comment under one of my videos for whatever reason, and he wanted to know in the video that I did about the TwoNotes ReVolt how the channels in the ReVolt compare to the channels or the amp models in some of the modelers. And I happen to have a Helix. I've got an HX Stomp and I've got Helix native, and so I thought, well, let's try it out. And what you heard in the intro was the channel 2 of the ReVolt, the British Crunch, versus the Plexi model in the Helix. And I tried to match them as close as possible. And yeah, just let me know in the comments what you think, which model was which. And I think I'll show you how I did build this preset and what settings that I use and what amp models I used. So without further ado, let's switch over to the pedal board. And yeah, if you like one of my videos, leave a thumbs up, or if you like my channel, please consider subscribing, and you might also comment on the video. Every once in a while this leads to another video like this one. And now we'll get some sounds. All right, so this is my little setup that I've got prepared. Just a short signal chain. Its guitar is going into the GE7. That is going into the HX Stomp. The ReVolt is in the effects loop of the HX Stomp, and then I'm using the Cap M for the cap emulation and for some reverb, and I'm using an EL34 power amp. So what we're going to do is we're using the preamp model in the Helix, not the amp model, because the amp models also have the power amp emulation, and we don't want to go a power amp into a power amp, so we'll use only the preamp. Yeah, so the first thing that we are going to have to do, so by the way, this is the bypass signal. And we'll add an effects loop to the chain. Effects loop left. And then we'll make on the ReVolt, and this is how this sounds. So I've set all the dials at noon. For the British Crunch, the EQ is at noon, and gain is at noon, and the volume at noon. So we'll start from there and see how the amp models in the Helix correspond to that. So this is what the ReVolt sounds. I'll assign a foot switch to the effects loop so we can put that on and off. So now the British Crunch channel of the ReVolt is supposed to be a Marshall Plexi, and this we'll have in the Helix. We have 3 Plexi models. We have the Plexi Norm, which is the normal input, the darker one. We have the Bright, which is the brighter one, of course, and we have the jumpered one. This is how most people use a Plexi. This is how I use my real Marshall Mini Plexi, because it gives you way more options. So, but since we only have a gain knob and not 2 drive knobs, I think I'll start with one of those 2 models. So let's start with the Norm and see how this sounds. We'll also assign a foot switch to that, so we can switch between those. So this is the Helix one, and this is the ReVolt. So, and you'll hear instantly it's got way more drive than the Helix model. So we'll see what we can do. This is with the drive all the way up. I think the master is fully up. I'll have to crank up the channel volume a little bit and roll back the bass and put in. So this is the maximum amount of gain we get out of this, and it's rather quite dark sounding. So I think we'll go with the bright model and see how this one sounds. So again, the ReVolt. And now the Britsh Plexi Bright. Also, what I'm noticing is that the drive is at 7. If I crank it all the way, we're getting in the ballpark, but I think I'll try the jumpered one. So this is the drive all the way up. I think I'll have to roll the bass quite back a bit, as you would in the Plexi. Put the mids up a little bit and the tremor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the other way around. I'll dial in a model and I'll dial in the sound in the Plexi Bright, and then I'll try to get the ReVolt sounding like this. I think this is the more easy way to do it. I think I'll go up with this. Go up with the sag. So I think this is a sound. I think that's quite a usable sound, and now we'll see how if we can get that one in the ReVolt. First try to match the volumes. I think that's okay with the gain. Also, so I think I'll add a little bit more treble. I think we're getting there sound-wise. I think this sounds quite good. But I think that the ReVolt has a lot more gain at tap than the British Plexi Bright model. But I think also the ReVolt is sounding a little bit more analog, but that might just be my brain tricking me with that little vacuum tube there. So let's see how how the amps clean up with the volume knob. So rolling back the volume. Yeah, so they're also behaving a little bit different. Now let's see how they react to an external drive pedal, and then we'll see how they react to one of the drive pedals in the Helix. So this is the G7. I've got this set as a sort of boost, tube screamerish like. So this is the ReVolt. Let's kick in the boost. And the Plexi without the and with the boost. Let's add a clone to it. Put the gain a little bit up and the level a bit up. Tone also rolling a bit. Yeah, first into the ReVolt. The standard foot switch, so we can switch it on and off. And the amp model in the Helix. think that sounds quite good into the ReVolt. So the ReVolt also takes normal pedals quite well, but I think it also reacts kind of good to the drive pedals in the Helix. Maybe what we could do is we'll add a fuzz. I think we'll go with a classic one and add an arbitrator fuzz. Let's see how that one sounds. This is sounding quite good. What we could do is we'll do the classic one all the way up. So it cleans up quite good with the volume knob. Let's see how the Plexi goes with that. So that one also sounds quite good. That was a short comparison. I'll dial back in the settings from the beginning. So these were the settings that I played in the intro. So here is the here's the Plexi and the Helix. And here's the ReVolt. And you can see I've got the drive all the way up in the right model. I've got the bass at 3, the mids at 7.7, treble at 6, the master at 10, the channel volume at 5.8, the sag all the way up. And here I've got the gain at a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter. The bass at more up than 3, the mids, yeah, and the treble kind of. But I think the most important factor here is gain. The ReVolt has lots of more of gain. And I also had here the Minotaur in front. And with the GE7. So what I like about the ReVolt, it is way more, it has a certain spankiness that I think is because of the fact that it's analog. But what I've also, the minute that you add a drive pedal or one of the drive models, the two become more similar. So that is one of the things I've noticed. I also had a little delay in there. Yeah, So that was a short comparison of the Plexi model in the Helix versus the Plexi model in the ReVolt. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Which did you think sounded better? Did one of them sound better? I might also do a video comparing the clean and the lead channel, since we'll have both of those models also in the Helix, the Soldano and the Bassman. But what also I've noticed is you can create a really powerful rig with that one. You don't have necessarily run into the cab M. You also could run the ReVolt into the Helix and then go out with an IR or one of the cab models from the new update. Lots of possibilities. We musicians, we live in a great time right now. We have so much gear and so capable gear at hand. So yeah, that was just my 2 cents. Thank you for watching this rather boring, lengthy video, but I think maybe some of you get something out of this. Yeah, thank you for watching, and again, if you like it, leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. I try to post more on a regular basis, and yeah, I'll put links to all the products in the description down below. These are affiliate links if you want to buy, or if you consider buying one of these units, which are all great, by the way. GE7, best versatile boost pedal ever made. Can highly recommend it. It can do all of your drive pedals if you want. So that just my 2 cents. But get it modded by someone who takes the annoying floor noise out of it. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.